Happy Saturday, everybody. This is Frank Tico's Dropping Knowledge coming at you once again. Wanted to thank everyone that's been interacting with my videos, that's been liking my videos, leaving a comment, and we've been interacting on the comment section, and also all of the new subscribers. I just want to appreciate every single one of you. All of that traction, all of that movement allows me to continue doing what I do. I'm very passionate about this, and that just motivates me. So thank you all once again for making that possible, for subscribing, because that to me means that you find my content and my channel worthy of your time. Hopefully you will continue enjoying my commentary, the little clips that I do, which I'm working on right now, and I'm always working. It don't stop. It's not going to stop. Sometimes I'm working, and because I work on my laptop, I can't work on my other laptop because I'm focused over here. But I can do editing on my phone, and so that's usually like the route that I go. And if the video's like less than like 10 minutes or less, I could save it at the highest quality. Anything beyond that, it kind of degrades the quality. So I've been kind of having like issues about that, because I don't want to put up like videos that aren't at the best quality. But I've done it. Like, I have done it, because to rework it on the laptop, it would take double the time and double the effort. And sometimes the concept is clear enough, I upload it, but I'm never always satisfied, right? So you also have to make sure that when you're cutting things, that you cut it at the right section, especially if you're trying to get a specific sound bite in a video from a live video. Sound bleeds over, and it's not a controlled environment, so we have to be very careful. Like, that's why, hey, I tip my hat to Chemo Flicks. Shout out to you, because you were my primary inspiration and how to go about creating videos, creating my thoughts based off of clips, but putting my signature on it. Yeah. So, it don't stop. We're going to continue doing this. I think it's an important thing to get behind. Like I said, this is my hobby. I don't have too many hours of the day to do this. If I dedicated my life to this, I would probably be doing other videos. I would create another channel, because there are other things that interest me, other things that I want to share with you, maybe reactions, things like that. But in the meantime, with the time that I have, I will continue to do what I'm doing. And it just goes to show that we are getting across. Our messaging is getting across. Like I said, there are people that are shouting us out, shout out to Exposed to. What we're doing is really doing this for the children. We're doing this for the children. We're doing this for the women, despite the false propaganda that they try to put against us. People can come check out our videos, and they will see exactly what's going on. Right? We even have kids calling in, shouting out. So, yeah, I mean, we really, really are trying to put out the message that we don't want weirdos in our spaces, especially guys that came from our background, that are supposed to be respectful, that are supposed to be for the youth. We don't respect them, they don't represent us, and that's why we're making a noise about it. And, what happens is that now you're starting to mention, well, you've been mentioning content creators all of this time. Now you've mentioned me, like you're mentioning me. And what that does is it makes people curious, because they're like, okay, why is he mentioning that guy? If obviously your followers, they may already know, because I see some of them in my comment section, as well as the people that are on our side. We already know, like, we know this is between you and us. But you include other people, man. You're the ones that include other people, because you mention it, you make it a thing. Like I said on my last video, you make it easy for us to know which buttons to push. So you react, you start saying, yeah, those are my haters, yeah, those guys are this, those guys are that. So you bring attention. You're the one that gives power to those messages. So what happens? It sparks curiosity. So, there are people watching us live that we don't even know who they are, that may not even have subscribed, but that are watching this, and they have no bones. In your side or on our side, they're just spectators. But if they start following the trail and they start looking at, going down the rabbit hole, they're going to find all of the videos that we put out pointing your stuff out. So you can use all of this stuff in the court of public opinion, like try to put jackets on people, like you try to do to American Cholo. Try to put jackets on people like you're trying to do to Triple P right now. Shout out to Triple P. Well, we all know, we can all see the outcome of it. Why don't you talk about the outcome? Because to you, what matters to you is to smear one man to get the attention off your back. Right? That's what you do. Right? And we see it with the high pepper, high desert paperwork, high pepper desert work. With the high desert, see, there I go again, high desert paperwork. We're waiting on that. Right now, it doesn't matter. Now we should be more concerned about, who's behind the mask and all of these things. Bro, I have beef with you before, this whole movement even started. It just became easy to be a part of it. It just became easy to start off with these numbers in our favor. It was just easy. The time was right for me to put out my content. Let's just put it that way. The time was ripe for me to come out and start doing this. And I started to do this because, you use bully tactics, bro. You use bully tactics, elementary school bully tactics that may work for some people, that may be, it may lead some people down the way you want them to lead them to. But adults and others don't buy it. Like, some will be in it for the entertainment value of it, but then there are going to be other people that are going to deep dive, that are going to research, that are going to find our videos too, and they're going to realize that you're full of shit. Okay, so that's why you have detractors, because of so many people that you've been up against, so many people that you have blocked. Instead of having like a conversation, you block us. So, what that creates is a sort of movement, because now we're watching you guys like, okay, that was a weirdo move. What other weirdo moves are these guys involved in? And stuff starts bubbling up. Enough of us get to talking, get to interacting, and you get movements such as this, right? There are other weirdos that can be attacked that we'll have time for, but right now my time in particular, me personally, I'm against both of you guys. You already know what's up. Okay, now so in the court of public opinion, you may have people that will sway in your favor. I mean, how many followers you have? You have like 90,000 followers now. 96,000. Sorry about that. Now I'm getting to dust because it's windy out here. You have like 96,000 subscribers, and you, Gunner, you have like over 1,000 subscribers, right? With the plaque, I remember that plaque. Congrats. Yeah, so you're not the victims in this. Like, you act like victims, right? You pretend, you try to let people know that you guys are the ones under attack. It's your own followers that send you all of those supposed threats against your family and blah, blah, blah. Those are your own followers. They love to see you crash out, bro. Haven't you noticed that they love to see you crash out? Like, they egg you on. They'll comment when you're drunk so you can continue drinking and continue crashing out, because that's their entertainment. If you left those lives up like they ask you to, like, because they always ask you, why don't you leave the lives up? Why don't you leave the lives up? I bet those lives would have millions of views. Seriously, those particular videos would have millions of views. Those would be like your most viewed videos, because what people love is to crash out. That's why they get invested, and they are chambrosos, just like you're a chambrosa. You love to spread chambre and create chambre, and you spread it out like gossip, and you love doing it. You love doing it. We see it. We see you. Okay, now, once again, in the court of public opinion, that will work. But now, when you threaten people about suing people and all of this, Mr. Paralegal, Mr. Paralegal, you should know by now that that's not going to work. Like, a defamation case is not going to work when you're an active participant in defamation. Like, it's not going to work, bro. Like, we just have to see Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Like, that was a high level one. Now, you guys are public figures because you have enough viewers to where you can be seen as public figures. You're monetizing off of your videos. You're monetizing, so you guys are public figures. So you can't expect to have the same protections as someone that is not a public figure. Now, I see you have videos, Dubs, where you go at people in your comment section and you talk about them, and they're not even content creators. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. So once again, in the court of public opinion, you can do all of the shenanigans that you do, make all of the threats, make it all sound legalese, but it's not. We all know it's not. We all know it won't fly. And that's why you can't even sue, you know, Baby Thugger. Shout out to Baby Thugger. That's why you can't sue him either for defamation of character. You can't. You can't. You have too much on you, too much of you doing it to where you can claim to be a victim of this. Okay? Now, these videos are not for the people that already know what's up, already are involved and invested in this. This is for the people that you're bringing over. Like, these videos are for the people that you make look for us because you mention us. You mention us in our lives and in your lives and in our lives. There are people watching that we don't even know who they are. There are people on TikTok that are watching that you don't know who they are. The people that you're battling have followers who you don't know who they are. You don't know how many they may have. There may be people that aren't participating and donating, but they're watching the live. That could be thousands upon thousands of people. So when you mention our names and you say that we're bullies and you say that we harass women and children, those that don't have any bones in this, that aren't your subscribers or aren't our subscribers, will have to make a choice of who to believe. And like you yourself say, the proof is in the pudding. Like you yourself say, don't see what I do. You know, don't look at what I say. Look at what I do. They're gonna look at what you do. Like all I do personally, guys, is put a mirror up in front of the screen, and I just reflect back to you what you do. That's all I do. I'll put some commentary. I might add some clips, but all of those scenes, all of those clips of you, that's you. Those are words coming out of your mouth. That's the energy that you're bringing in. I'm just putting a mirror up to your face. Okay, you like to talk about being a man and woo, that you're alpha males, whatever. Alpha males will not try to block other men. That's not a manly behavior. So, you know, you talk about being man and what? You say, you know, those guys are this, those guys are that. But you move not like a man. You know, when you block people for calling you out, that is not a manly move. You know, just in one of the lives, you were discussing how, you know, that people check in with you, or you check in with certain people, that you know certain people, and that if you were about this, you wouldn't be doing that. All right, first and foremost, bro, if you know people and people check in with you that are about the business and they're men, they're going to ask you, like, hey, why won't you take the fade? Oh, you're blocking people? I'm sure that they would be the first ones to tell you that you're acting unmanly. So I don't believe that either. You know, that's a fox threat. It means nothing, has no weight, holds nothing. It's like you say, it's babas. That's crazy. You know, and all this talk about taking it to court, you know, and putting jackets on people like you've tried to do to so many people. You know, the mask off moment for me was how you treated Jerry, how you threatened his family, you threatened his life. The way you guys try to set up L. Shout out to A Prisoner's Awakening. Shout out to L. How you guys set him up, because you guys set him up. That's what you did. You try to bully him. You use bully tactics. You use elementary tactics. And you think that your bluffs are going to impress someone. They're not impressing us, bro. They're not impressing me. I'm not going to stop. You know? I mean, I know exactly what to do. Like, you want to play with fire? I'm being nice, bro. Seriously, I'm being nice. I'm being nice. I'm being considerate. I'm trying to put a message out there that maybe you can reconcile with, and maybe you can say, you know what? I should calm the fuck down. But since you know, I'm just throwing seeds out there. I'm not even really attacking you. You know? I'm not. I'm being gentle. Like, I'm being nice. Really, I am. You know, because now, you know, if you decide to, you know, to turn up the heat and try to pull some stuff like you did on Triple P and other people, you know, and you try to do that on me with no proof like others have tried, you know, then you're just going to turn up the volume. That's all you're going to do. You know, I suggest that you just, you know, like you said in the last video, do some inventory and really take task to that. Like, do it. Like, take some inventory, man. That's what I've been telling you to do. And, you know, the times that you blocked me, that's what I was trying to do. So when your followers come over and they try to attack, they need to understand, yes, I was a follower, I was a supporter, and I defended you many times when I thought that you were catching heat for stuff that, that was being blown out of proportion. But, once you start seeing it over and over and it becomes a pattern, it becomes, your get down, then I have a problem with it. And, you just so happen to do so in a way where now I have time. And that's what it is. So thank you for shouting me out. That tells me you're watching the videos. So, my intended audience, you're a part of that now. That's crazy. And to those guys that are my subscribers and to those guys that are a part of Exposed to, we're going to continue doing this, continue to be firm. They're going to try to block, they're going to try to infiltrate, they're going to try to do all of these things, all of these little elementary school tactics that, yeah, they work on some people in the public opinion, but we're going to continue doing what we're doing. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Please stay tuned for my next video. I'll put the thumbnail out as soon as I can. And with all of that, just once again, hope you have a great Saturday, great weekend. And until next time, peace.